Hello, everyone, and welcome in to the Qomon Autumn Release. My name is Joshua Maxwell, and I have the pleasure today of being your host. And I will be shortly joined by several of the Qomon team, as Flo, the CEO, that we have here as well. Apologies in advance for some of the technical difficulties that we may have had with some of the time zone issues. We do have clients across the globe, and so because of that, we ran into some issues early on, but thank you for being on the call, and we are so excited to be with you. Hey, Flo, how are you doing?
I am good. Can you hear me well?
I can hear you well.
Yeah? Okay, perfect.
It's good to be on with everyone. Let's go to the next slide. So on stage, we're going to have several people joining us, some from the sales, some from our account managers, Flo as well, and some from our product team. So they may be a little bit nervous. Product teams normally don't have the chance to be able to speak to customers, clients. So we're excited to hear from them because they're the ones who are building the tool, right? So we're going to be having them join. For those of you that have not met Qomon before or have heard of Qomon, just a little introduction about who we are. We're a modern supporter activation platform that's designed with the volunteers, the supporters in mind, to help to activate them no matter where they are. We do work in 70 different countries with over 1,500 different organizations. You've got some numbers on the right there as well, but our goal really is to serve our clients and their members and really give the best tool and support them in the best way. Now, how will the live work? Well, for most of you, you should have a chat to the side. So feel free at any time to pop a question in there. And maybe during the call, we'll be able to answer that question. But we will also be saving 15 minutes at the end to answer some of those maybe complex questions that you might have. So feel free to pop them in there, and we'll do that. For any of our clients, if you have a question during the call as well that might arise, you can scan this QR code and ask our support team. There's going to be some new features that are coming out, which we're excited about. And if you want to have those enabled, you can ask the team very quickly with that QR code there. Finally, a good live event should have a theme. And so for today, we have a robust engine open to the world. Now, we've heard you over the last few years. We haven't done as many of these. So we're going to be doing live events twice a year to show you all the different tools that are coming out, as well as give you updates about Qomon. And so our goal here is to really open up Qomon more to the world, not just as a business, but in the product. And you'll see that as well. So for the agenda, we have a few features that we're going to be highlighting right off the bat. And then we're going to talk about some recent initiatives for the community and take a sneak peek at some future releases that are going to be coming here in the next few weeks and a couple months. And then again, answer any of the questions that you might have at the end. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So we're going to talk about the new tools in terms of the activation CRM, the new tools for action like public events. We're going to talk about the mobile app and hear from our mobile team of the updates that they've put it there as well. We're going to hear about new features in data and more in the business as a whole, and talk about some of the general things that are happening at Qomon. And then maybe we'll see you at some of the events that we're going to be attending in the next few weeks as well. So we're going to hit all of that. So let's bring in Claire as we hit one of the first updates that we've released in emailing action. So let's hop over there.
Hi, thanks so much, Joshua. Thank you. And thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm really excited to be able to kickstart our first improved feature, which is our emailing system. So in the nonprofit and political sectors, we often hear about the same challenge, and that's email deliverability. So to address this, we've made an important behind-the-scenes change, and that's switching our email provider. So you should now see higher deliverability and better trust scores across a fully integrated system in Qomon. Another key area we focused on is our reporting and tracking. So our new dashboard gives you clearer insights into each campaign's performance. That comes equipped with a Qomon campaign score. This is an overall metric based on your open, click, and unsubscribe rates. You're also going to have our Qomon AI insights in each campaign. This is just going to tell you what went well and what can maybe be improved, really just making it easier to understand what's working and what you might need to improve on and make some changes. The campaign creation flow has also changed. It's been a little bit streamlined. So you'll start by putting in some campaign details, including your subject. And once that's good to go, just hit next and you're going to select which list you'll be targeting. So you can either create a new list or you can select an existing one. And you'll notice that any of those unsubscribed or invalid contacts are going to be automatically excluded, just helping to ensure that compliance and deliverability. We've also simplified how you organize and manage your email templates. So you can see that we have some folders, just overall making it easier to access and prep those email templates so they're ready when you are. For the actual email builder, you're going to be guided through any missing setup steps in our campaign settings right here. The email builder itself hasn't changed too much from what you're familiar with. You have all your content blocks and rows, etc. So once your email is built and you've sent your test, you're ready to send your email. And you actually now have the choice to schedule a send, or you can send it off immediately. Just lastly, yeah, right there, send or schedule it. Finally, we've also added some new advanced filters. So you're going to actually be able to target contacts based on their interactions with your past email sends. So a whole bunch of great updates here.
Great, thanks, Claire. Now, not to waste any time, we're going to jump into some updates that we've made to the CRM. One of those being handling double contacts and duplicate scanner. Helen, is that what I'm hearing here? That we've got a new update for that?
Yeah, that's right. Well, first, thanks for having me on stage, Joshua. I'm really excited to be here. It's been a little while since I've actually done one of these, so I'm excited we're gonna this initiative to have it twice a year. But that's right. So we've actually got a beta v2 scan for duplicates, a sort of new duplicate management system. Because let's be honest, that is one common sort of pain we all share, is how to keep my database clean, right? So database is good, but a clean one is even better. So what we've actually designed here is a fully sort of customizable duplicate scanner where you can actually decide what type of variables you want us to run and look for duplicates across, right? And this is really important because not every organization defines a duplicate the same way, right? There might be organizations that have define it as the same email addresses, etc., addresses in general. So really here you'll see that you can run duplicate scans across your entire contact database or even through a saved list. And to be honest, this is really just the beginning in terms of the potential within the scanner that we've put together and built. If you can imagine this moving forward, even detecting incoherences between your email addresses to really ensure that the data in your database is actually reliable and usable, right, moving forward for your organization so nobody loses time.
I think that's a great point about losing time. I can imagine several folks who are on this event have experienced having to manage duplicates, and it can be one of the biggest pains in the world. So that's exciting to hear. Now, I know that for some of our larger organizations and enterprise accounts, we've made some new adjustments as well for how they're going to be able to manage from their central space.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those of you that don't know, we do have a sort of parent-child space structure within Qomon, and this is mostly for organizations that are, operating at a large scale that want to empower their local chapters with their own common independent spaces here. And this screen here does a really good job to illustrate that, right? So here I have my independent spaces all connected to this one central parent space, which is my Qomon USA. And then in other instances, you could just have independent spaces living and existing separately. And so the improvements we did here, it's really important to actually understand what this looked like before. So in Qomon, the central space used to really just be a sort of view, a display of contacts across your subspaces or your child spaces. And now we've actually improved that to allow a lot more data management within the central space. So if you can think about, again, saving time without having or needing to jump into those independent subspaces to make any changes to contacts throughout your entire organization. So here you'll have the ability to run mass modifications, run exports now at a large scale, while still empowering those local organizations with their own spaces, but also applying changes across the board to, again, save you folks time and energy.
That's really awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Now, I guess the next feature is a pretty big one in terms of Qomon, because Qomon's always been known as a great field and organizing tool, a great member tool, a great tool for phone banking, and a lot of other things. But now there's a pretty big release that's just happened in terms of donations and memberships. Could you tell us more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So our donations and membership module really, the goal here really aligns with Qomon's DNA, right? And the point here is to unify your database, right? Your supporters can also be your donors, who are also your members, but perhaps also your volunteers, right? Of course, in the way that we treat those universes, they need to be unique, but they're part of your database and they can move across, right? And sort of populate those spaces equally. So the point here is really to have that all centralized. So now in Qomon, you can track your transactions, right, that come through. We integrate with Stripe and whatever and other payment processors, right, that are actually going to bring in automatically payments through, donations or membership fees, right, from your processors, and attach them, append them directly into your contacts, your supporters, donors, volunteers, whatever really you're managing in your audience here. This is also going to help you folks with those engagement ladders and how those contacts move between those universes. And also, within your contact card, again, all that information is centralized. So we'll jump in here into Kathy here, who has made several donations, has also gone ahead and went through a membership fee as well. So here, again, that information is all centralized. You can see how much an individual has donated, memberships that they've actually adhered to, etc., all in one place.
That's really great. Thank you for sharing that as well. It's exciting to see that organizations are going to be able to start saving even more time by having things like donations and memberships into one tool. Now, moving into the next piece of an improvement on the CRM side of things are locked fields, terms, and offices. I'm excited to see this too.
Yeah, again, within the contact card, we're still here within the CRM. We now have a term and offices tool where you can actually append information around folks' time in office and their term information as well within a contacts card. So you can see how and when a contact in your database has actually been involved, perhaps in local politics, in local initiatives within your community, right? And sort of follow that timeline directly here. In addition, we've also included the ability to lock certain fields within your database. And this is really important when you don't need fields to be edited, right? Things like voter ID numbers, etc., where you want to have that field available, but you don't need anyone really touching or modifying what those values are. So from feedback from you folks, we've made this available and we're really excited about it too.
It's great to see that. Thank you so much, Helen. We'll see you in a little bit. Now I'd like to bring in Justine, who is a part of our product team, to talk a little bit about a new feature. Traditionally at Qomon, events have been a little bit of a closed feature, and now we're opening it up. Justine, tell us a bit about what's going on with the public events.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Josh. Hello, everyone. So at Qomon, we've always organized actions reserved to your members. And now we open our product publicly. So with public events and Action Hub, the goal is to open your actions outside of your member circle. So when you create a public event, it will generate this beautiful page with images, locations, descriptions, materials, and you will be able to share it for your social media or emails. You can, everyone can sign up actually to your events. So it will allow people to engage directly through your action. You can track the signups. So to see all the participants, it will be synchronized to your database. So you can drive the engagement before, during, and after your event. So the new feature public event is in beta right now. We are building RSVP and also multiple slots and also a lot of feature inside. So basically, to have your events as public decreases the barrier of activation.
That's really great.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting. That's a big change, and it's great to see that for our organizations. That's awesome. Now, with that comes what we're calling Action Hub, is to bring that all together in one place. Tell us about it.
Sure. So Action Hub is a new product in Qomon. It's in pre-launch right now. It allows you to have all your actions in one place. Everything is centralized and updated in real time on a web page. So you can integrate it into your website. You can share it everywhere. And it's a new way to make your actions more visible to your public. It's also a new way to recruit people directly through your actions. So Action Hub will help you to boost reach and engagement, to grow your contact database, and also to attract new volunteers to your community.
Great stuff. Thank you so much, Justine. We'll see you in a little bit as well.
Sure.
Now I'd like to take us over to the volunteer-facing HQ, where we really help to activate those users. Pauline, who's a part of that team for the mobile app. Great to have you on. Excited to hear one of the updates that we have in terms of the calling action and the new version that we have.
Yes, thank you, Josh, and hello everybody. So about this calling action, we really listen to your feedbacks. So there is two main goals on that. The first one is really to improve the volunteer experience through a gamified and engaging action. So for that, you can see there is a stat view to see what's already been done, what is still need to be done, and each volunteer can compare their own stats to the global ones. So that increases the motivation to achieve the goal. The second goal, and we've really listened to your feedbacks for that, is in a more logistic way. So the idea behind it is really to keep it simple. With a pool of contacts, you can see there. You just have to draw a contact. You'll have the important informations to know before calling. Just call your contact and you have access to the survey as before. Also, the contacts from the same household are now grouped under a single call. So you won't have to, you won't call the same house twice. And if a contact calls back, volunteers have now direct access to everyone they've already called, so they can continue the conversation without losing time to find them. And yeah, really the idea behind the rework of this action is to be very user-friendly, gamified, and motivating.
No, that's really great to see. I know a lot of campaigns as well as organizations love to give shout outs to members who are doing some hard work. You know, phone banking is not easy. I know on the canvassing side, there might be some updates in the future with that. And it's really great to be able to give recognition to the people who deserve it, especially by being able to track and give that feedback to them immediately. Now, I know that we made another update on the mobile app. On this side, it's on an inbox with the notifications. Tell us about it.
Yes, exactly. So the mobile inbox, it's really to put volunteers at the center. It's to simplify their experience. So there is a brand new interface with clear filters. You can see there is the action tabs where you can find action invitations, reminders, updates, and user can directly attend to an action from there. There is also the announcement tabs. This is really the direct messages from an organization to their volunteers. And last but not least, the materials tab, like your volunteers will be notified when you upload a new material to your space. The second point about mobile inbox is the action leader. So now they have the information of who's participating to the actions. So they get a message when someone joins. It's really leading to a better organizing. And yeah, I think that's it. And if you have any question about the mobile inbox or calling action, don't hesitate to ask them in the chat.
Thanks, Pauline. Well, we're going to keep you on stage here for a second, and we're going to bring in Claire, because you've also made a new big update, which is really exciting as well, on offline mode. So maybe, Claire, you could tell us a bit about the new offline mode and how it works.
Absolutely. So whether you're in a low connectivity area, you're inside a building, or maybe you just want to save your data, offline mode is going to let you keep on knocking on those doors without interruption. So before heading out, you can just simply download your canvassing action while connected to Wi-Fi. Then whenever you need to, switch to offline mode to use zero data and keep working seamlessly. Once you're back on Wi-Fi, or if you have better connection, just hit the sync data button and everything you collected is going to be automatically uploaded to your web platform. You can see right here, downloading it, click it back, and you can just enter that offline mode right there, and then you're good to go.
I mean, it seems pretty simple.
It is very intuitive.
I'm glad to see it. I know folks who are in regions where you lose reception very easily, it's going to be a nice game changer for them to be able to continue doing the work. So that's great to hear. Thanks, Claire.
No worries.
All right, without further ado, let's bring Flo back in to talk about our AI profiles tool. Hey, Flo.
Hey there, hope you're doing well. Yeah, well, it has been 25 minutes and we have not pronounced the word AI yet, so it was time to talk about AI. Yeah, just very quickly, the AI profile feature is currently in beta V1, meaning that you can test it if you are part of the beta program. The idea behind this feature is really, really simple. It's just like you can analyze your own list of contacts to better understand the profile of your contacts and find people that look alike. So let's say you have like 100,000 contacts, you have 10,000 donors. Who are your donors? And do you have people that match the same profile in your database that you should probably focus first? Because you don't have a beginner team to make phone calls and call everyone. You don't have enough budget to send a postcard to everyone. You want to send super personalized emails, but you can't do it to 90,000 people. So it helps you to really analyze, understand the profile, find lookalikes, also find lookalike zones, so areas where you're going to find the same profile, and obviously give you some information based on both everything that is on your contact, well, all information you have stored in your CRM, and all information that we may have on the open data of your country. We have more than 1.5 billion open data points that help us to make this works. So it's really simple. You can just select a list. You need a minimal, you need a size for the list. And for example, here I analyze, well, I need to update the list. It's gonna analyze very quickly the information about my donors, and it's gonna give me some information, like for example, how many percentage of men, so it's mainly women, how many I didn't test before, like showing you, so I'm just I'm just running a test with no data at all on only 3 lookalikes, but you can see that it's very real, and I was very unprepared. But but you can find a few information. Obviously, you can find more information if you have like a better database. For example, here you can see that the person most likely doesn't vote Republican. Is like you have like a lot of information on what's the profile of those contacts. And more importantly, you can find lookalike contacts, lookalike zones, so zones that you can find similar profile, and more importantly, take action. So send an email, create an action, a phone banking action on those people, etc. Hopefully, you're gonna have more than 3 people, but even if it's 3, just one person is one person. So it's still great. That's it for me.
Great. No, thank you for sharing that. Now we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk a bit more on the business side of things in general, and how we're trying to make things a little bit easier for our clients and customers. Can you tell us a bit about the new customer portal?
Yeah, even before that, because at the beginning I just want to jump in because I wanted to jump in at the beginning just to say first how happy we are to have you for this new edition. We have not done that for ages, and it's really great to be back for those autumn release. But more importantly, for all the features that you have seen on the activation side, on the action side, on the data side, there is a big theme around all the release that we have made in the last few months. It's really like bringing the most robust product and tools as possible to you folks. So that's the reason why we worked on the deliverability side of things on more open. So that's the big shift. You may have understood that we are doing with Qomon is really like open to the people who are not yet your volunteers, but could be your volunteers. And instead of just offering them a way to get involved by a volunteer form, just give them the opportunity to join through the action itself. But that was not at all your question. Your question was about the new customer portal. So we have a new customer portal. It just makes your life easier. You have all the information. But the real reason why we introduced the new customer portal, it's because now you have the Qomon wallet that is available. So what is the Qomon wallet? It serves 2 use cases. The first one on the Qomon wallet is really if you are a large organization and you are running SMS, MMS program, and you want your people to have a budget, you can just top up the wallet so you make sure that they can still send their SMS, text message, make some phone calls, but you don't go over budget and you are not always validating every single spend. And the second use case of the Qomon wallet, if you guys recommend us to another organization, we are happy to top up the wallet with $50, $100, depending on the size of the organization, and it's gonna just be deducted from your next Qomon bill and invoice. And the second reason why we introduce the Qomon, the new customer portal, it's because in a few weeks we're gonna introduce new offers. We're gonna have new offers at Qomon that are really aligned to who we are. So made them modular, made them really evolving with you. And you're gonna be able to build your product, choose between action, data, mix the 2 products if you need, and more importantly, answering 2 use cases that we have. Either you already have a CRM system, you have a database system, a legacy system, and your goal is really to plug into that system to turn your mailing list into action in a way. And the second use case is more like unifying your tools. So having a unified approach between, it's what Helen was talking about, like between voters, between signups, between volunteers and donors, and unifying the thing. So that's the reason why we create those modular offers that you're going to be able to discover in a few months. In a few weeks on the website. And already, if you're already a customer, you may have noticed those changes.
Great. Thanks, Flo.
Thank you.
Now we're going to switch. Speaking of customers, we're going to talk a little bit about how we're supporting our users as well as our clients, and Helen, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about the support that you're giving as well as the user days.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Josh. So a little bit about our support that we provide. So we do provide support 7 days a week. Let's be honest, a lot of you folks are are getting active and active on the weekends, right? That's just the reality of the work that you do. So we are there to follow you and accompany you and help you throughout those throughout that time. Additionally, we've actually recently introduced an initiative called our Users Days. And this is essentially where your account manager, so folks like me, Claire, maybe you folks know Charles and Hendrik and other people, we actually control the roadmap for our developers for 1 week every month. And where do we get this information? We get it from you. So the feedback that you folks send, right, that you push our way, the changes that you want to see, we collect, right? We combine, we sit together, and we decide what we're going to go ahead and start closing during the users' days. So this is a real big initiative and effort to really start closing that feedback loop and getting you folks more involved and helping us shape our tool, because that's what we're all about. We're building this for you.
That's great. And I think folks can scan that QR code that's there to take a look at the change log that's being updated weekly, and to take a look at the changes that are being implemented by the team thanks to the feedback that we're getting from our clients, right? That's great. Now, moving on a little bit, we've also updated and created a status page.
Yeah, no, exactly. So this is a status page. This is really to bring more transparency to our system, how the platform is running. So this is new, right? You folks will have access to this on the web platform. So if anything happens, you are in the know. You also know that we know about it and that we are on it. So you can see when anything comes up. This is really so that you know where we are, and so you know when you can get back started again.
No, it's really great. Thanks, Helen. Now, moving to next, before we jump into the rapid round of features that are going to be upcoming, I want to talk a little bit about the new newsletter by Flo himself, and we can bring Flo in as well, called Go With The Flow. Now, this isn't a newsletter like any other, and it's not a newsletter about Qomon. The goal of this newsletter is really to bring the best inside information on the best way of helping you to support and to activate those supporters that you have, things of best tactics and practices that we see from across the globe. And so Flo just launched that this last Sunday. So you can subscribe to the Substack. The QR code is there to get the latest newsletter and really follow along as we help to try to bring the resources that we've been able to gather from our clients from across the globe and really give them into your hands as well. Now, with that, we're going to have everyone jump onto the stage, and we're going to take a quick look at some sneak peeks all together. So we'll invite everybody in. Hello again. Good to have you all on. Now, we've got several that are upcoming, so we're going to hit them one by one. The first one we have is action flow. So who better than to talk about action flows than Flo? Flo, tell us about it.
Yeah, well, action flows, thank you, Josh. Action flows are really workflows. So it's something that we have, it's all about like building paths of engagement. So it's going to help you just to build automation around everything at Qomon. So let's say someone signed up for a petition. How do you transform that person into someone that's going to become a donor, or is going to become a more engaged volunteers? And the only work that you're going to have to do is to create your program at the beginning, and then it's going to run automatically. There is a first release of action flows, a simple one, part of the beta program happening in 2 weeks. So feel free to jump on that beta program if you want to test the first version of action flows.
That's great. Now, moving on, rapid fire again. We're going to talk about Action Hub and Maps. So maybe we'll bring in Justine again, who was talking about Action Hub. Tell us about the maps.
Really simple. So today, Action Hub displays a listing of all your actions that you choose to publish. And soon, we will have the map. So the map allows everyone to visualize all your actions located on the map.
Awesome. That's great.
Action Hub Maps.
Action Hub Maps. Now, the new mobile HQ. Claire, tell us a little bit about what's going on with the new mobile HQ.
Yeah, absolutely. So our mobile HQ, it's going to be a central hub for all of our mobile users. It's a single place where volunteers can find everything they need to get started and stay engaged. Overall, just to have a smoother onboarding experience. So from our HQ tab, you'll be able to use a global search to find any action, document, or team. Admins will also be able to feature key actions and materials, so everyone's seeing the most important resources right away. And lastly, just we've made the onboarding process smoother with a profile setup checklist. There's going to be a notification preview, also action prompts, all directly on the HQ tab.
Awesome. Well, let's stay on the mobile and move over to a new feature and bring Helen back in, who was talking about fundraising, and tell us about the Tap to Give feature that's coming.
Yeah, but the Tap to Give is exactly what it sounds like. So soon, our organizations are going to have the ability to offer Tap to Give right on the mobile devices of your users. So when they're out at events, out canvassings, they will have, they can show a QR code to your audiences where they can then scan and think about donating to your organization. This is great because, let's be honest, in terms of collecting money, it's a lot more secure. People feel a lot more secure when they're putting their payment information into their own devices, right? And not anybody else's. So really excited about that one.
Cool. Thank you. Now moving on to Security and Compliance Center Flow. Talk to us about security and compliance.
Oh yeah, it can be, well, it can be sexy compliance, and we try to make it beautiful. It's gonna be it's just we're gonna create a security and compliance center inside Qomon. So it's just gathering all the information about security, how you unlock 2FA for your organization, how you manage also everything regarding transparency notice that are required by the FEC or now required by the GDPR 900 new regulation in Europe. So managing also all the content, and you're going to be able to select between template if you want with if you want like more like a CCPA compliance style, or if you want more GDPR 900 compliance and consent center, you're going to be able to really play with templates and, more importantly, be compliant either with your like transparency notice that are required in some geographies, that's going to be automatically input in your petition forms, everything that is going public, emails, but also everything regarding consent management, whatever your geography is. And if you want to, I think it's in 2 days, we have a special event because there's a new regulation coming in Europe, GDPR 900, that really reshape how political data, but more actually it's broader than this because it's any groups that is involved into kind of I can't remember exactly the terms, but into public opinion that needs to comply with this GDPR 900. So if you want to deep dive, we are doing in 2 days an event, and you can scan the QR code just to tell you what data strategy you should apply to your organization, how you can adapt, how to make your system compliant with this new regulation.
That's great stuff. And there's a few questions about that we'll answer in the Q&A section. So be ready for that as well. Thanks, Lo. Now, in terms of upcoming events, Qomon's going to be in a lot of different places. So you can take a look very quickly to see and join us. Again, we love QR codes. You can go ahead and scan and see where we're going to be, including at Netroots and America Votes and across the globe, and as well as what Flo just said about that GDPR 900, because even for the Americans who are looking with an eye on the future, I know that we're going to be looking at that as who knows, that might influence how things move in the US in the near future as well. So thank you for sharing that. Now, next up, we've alluded to it a few times. So I think folks are probably asking, so what is the beta and early access program? So just to share about this, it's an opportunity for us to get you into the product, to test it. There are quite a few features that we took a look at, and we want your feedback. We know that the best built products are built with the feedback from the folks who are on the ground using it. And so we want to invite you, if you would like to be a part of that beta tester program, you can go ahead and scan that QR code here. We're going to take an extra second because I think there's going to be quite a few folks who may want to do this as well, to be a part of that. And we'd be excited to invite you to be a part of that as well. And finally, questions. So if you've been thinking about the questions for the last few minutes or during the presentation, feel free to pop some in. But one of the questions, I'll come to you, Flo, on this, that was a question that came up during the compliance discussion is there going to be compliance with Qomon around Apple Pay, Google Pay, Samsung Pay? There's some hope there.
I think it's because we are going too fast. I think it's a question more for the tab to give, the tab to give new features. Yes, it's gonna be compliant. We spend like months doing KYC with to make sure that we could make it work. So it's gonna be as soon as you have those activated on your account. It supports Apple Pay and Google Pay. But first, we're going to stay a few minutes for question if you do have any question. But just wanted to thank everyone. Thank you also for the team. Thank you for attending, despite of the hiccups around time. It's recorded, so I am sure people are going to watch this live in a few hours to catch up. If you need to contact anyone from our office, you have like the contact of Joshua and Remy. You also can scan the QR code to book a demo if you don't know Qomon yet. If you need support to activate one of the features that we display today, don't hesitate to contact your account manager or just contact the support team. And once again, don't hesitate to give us as many feedback as possible. Feedback is a gift, but it's also allow us just to know if those kind of events that doesn't do deep dive into one feature, but more like broad overview of what was happening in the last few months. If those kind of events are helping you, we're gonna definitely continue doing them, or if you prefer like more deep dive event on selected topics. And we're gonna stay up for some question. Don't hesitate if to drop your question on the chat. And thank you for the team for making this happen. There's Leila on the background, and there's everyone here on stage, especially the people who are not, as you said at the beginning, Joshua, used to do Visio and working on the product side, thinking of Pauline and Justin. And but thank you all.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining.
We're gonna stay up for some question. I think there was a question. I'm gonna just pick up a few questions. So we answer the action, the Apple Pay question. There was a question about public events can be displayed on organization website or more like embed in an organization website. Yes, everything at Qomon from petition forms and events can be embedded in your website, so it will really give like the look and feel of your organization. It's pretty much the same for Action Hub. Action Hub, you can register your domain on Qomon, so it really and really make it your own, so people feel home as soon as they join your action hub, action page. And there was a question around duplicates. If the new duplicate function works also when we import some contacts, and yes, it does. Well, I think because Charles from the team said it was there is an automatic merge and duplicate detection from the import. So thank you all. We're gonna stay a few minutes if you have extra question. Otherwise, don't hesitate to send us feedback. We're gonna leave the screen here so you can QR code, note contact information, and see you next time.